bus ride journeys home. So I thought I'd talk about people pleasing. People pleasing is something that a lot of autistic people, I'm talking from my own autistic personal perspective, but a lot of autistic people are people pleasers. We don't often think about our health or welfare, and we like to say yes to everything and everybody, and we do realise this isn't practical for the most part when we are trying to self-care for ourselves, and we realise that sometimes saying yes is bad and we shouldn't be doing it, because for our health it impacts us, and for our self-esteem and our confidence we just say yes so we don't appear as rude or not caring or selfish or being blunt and deliberately trying to avoid doing things. And sometimes we have to avoid things due to our anxiety and we just have no social energy left to do so. I think sometimes we don't realise that, and we end up saying, oh yes, we'll do this, oh yes, we'll be part of that team, oh yes, we'll go to this social event, or oh yes, we'll come and help this person do something, when really we don't have the social energy or social function to do so. I think it can play a crucial effect on our health, who we are, what we do during the week, and all the social chores that we are expected to do whilst we are able to do so. And I think people often forget that we are on a limited social energy budget. We often forget that we have to self-care for ourselves and watch out for our own health, and being a people pleaser is exhausting, socially exhausting and mentally draining and physically draining, and it just takes an effort out of us altogether, because people don't realise that people with autism are already on a social reduced limit. We are already overloaded with all the sensory stimuli and sensory processing that we often have to process during the working week and the weeks after, and it literally hits us when we don't even realise, and it can end up in bed rest, it can end up sensory overload, heightened anxiety, heightened emotions, because we're not sure of how to best take care of ourselves or how to look after ourselves and our mental health. And being people pleaser can be absolutely draining, because people just expect you to be this happy, sociable person all the time, and they expect you to be like, oh yes, I'll do this, oh yes, not a problem, oh yes, I'll come to your birthday, oh yes, I'll come to this meeting. And without really realising that we're putting ourselves under extreme pressure and sensory overload and high anxiety and heightened emotions, it affects our mental health, our physical health, our emotional health, and that's not good for us as part of the autism spectrum, because we end up being extremely overwhelmed and going into burnout and shutdown mode, and that then does affect us for days, maybe weeks at a time, months at a time. And each autistic person is different. Obviously, I am somebody that is autistic and I function quite well for the most part. I'm sorry that the video is a little bit wobbly, but I am filming this on my phone on the way home on a little bit of a limited battery. But yeah, I want to talk about people pleasing and the effects of it, how it can affect somebody on the autistic spectrum, because sometimes we don't realise that it is not okay to say yes all the time, that it is okay to say no. We do actually have to practice to say no a lot more due to our way of being. We often get to say, oh okay, we'll do it on top of our extra chores, or okay, we'll do it on top of our extra job load we need to do, and in actual fact we need to actually say, well sorry, no I can't do this right now, or no sorry I can't do this right now because I have no social energy left, I've been at work all day, or been doing chores, or been out seeing friends or family, and no I can't do it. But unfortunately we don't like to say no, because we are people who like to people please, and we like to help people and be social, and we don't realise that to our own peril. And unfortunately people don't realise that it does mentally exhaust us, and when you're expecting us to be the so-called normal, people think, oh well, Gemma should be able to handle it, you know, she should be able to say yes and do things and do as her told and do things when she's told to, you know, and she should be expected to function like everybody else in society. Yes, I can function, but I am on the autism spectrum, which means that for me everything is more heightened and more emotional, and I feel things a lot more deeply than the neurotypical person does, and for that I do struggle, and that leads me into anxiety and shutdown and meltdowns potentially. And being a people pleaser is exhausting, because people just expect, oh Gemma will babysit her nephew without problem, or Gemma will go out and do social tasks, and Gemma won't realise her mental health is at risk, or she feels lethargic or tired, or she just feels pain in no particular areas, like especially my back or the top of my head or my shoulders is where I saw the most tension, I guess. But for me it is mentally taking an effort out of me. When I say yes all the time, I don't even realise how much of an implication that is taking up, and potentially causing me to go into anxiety and meltdowns and upset periods of my depression. And I think sometimes people need to realise it is okay to say no, and we need to say no a lot more, because it is something that people pleasing is not a good healthy balance. people pleasing is a expectation based on Western society, and unfortunately for all people with autism, it's just assumed that we can do as we're told when we're told, when we're spoken to. Unfortunately, we kind of don't help ourselves in that aspect, and we often do say yes to far too many people, far too many things at one time we know we shouldn't or can't. And that's why I have a visual timetable of what I'm doing each day, so I know not to plan too much or too soon, or not to get back to people straight away when they ask me to do stuff, because I've just been feeling mentally exhausted, mentally drained, and it does take that physical tone away from that physical demand and stress. And sometimes being a people pleaser does cause stress and anxiety. It can in fact make me feel quite dizzy and quite upset, and when I'm trying to say, oh actually no, I can't do this, or actually no, I don't think I can, but oh, what's wrong with you, you know, Jem, you should be able to do this, just you know, just function, just do it, just do your toll, like, you know, you can't be saying no, Jem, like, oh, people done all this stuff for you, like, you can't be bothered, or you're just being a bit rude or selfish and stuck up, and it's like, well, actually no, I'm mentally and physically drained and I just can't do it anymore, and to the point where I'm so done that I can barely communicate or function verbally, and it gets really, really upsetting. People say, oh, temper tantrum now. I'm like, no, it's not, it's a meltdown, shutdown, because of all the social expectation of being a people pleaser. It's just horrible, it's just not a nice thing to go through. So please, if you know somebody on the autistic spectrum, or you know that they're not coping, or you're expecting them to do too much socially, and you know that they can't, or they have limited verbal language or non-verbal communication, don't expect them to always be able to communicate with you, and join them with social expectations or work situations. Make sure that they have a quiet area to go to, or a rest area, and make sure you're not giving them too much of sensory overload issues. And yeah, I just thought I'd talk about this because this has come across in the autism community quite a lot recently, and on my friends and my neurodivergent video, which I'll tag in the description. Yeah, I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.